Welcome to What the Washington, a historical, social, and political tour of the weirdest state in the nation. I'm Michaela.
I'm Matt.
And what are we doing today, Matthew?
We are doing something that I'm very excited for. We're not covering historical events per se. We are going to touch a little bit on history, but we're going to cover confectionaries and candies in Washington. So from our favorites to our least favorites, and we're going to do a ranking throughout the whole episode.
Yeah, I haven't tried most of these. I've tried, I think, just one. So that will be fun. And then you're going to give us some history. Is that correct?
Yeah, just some brief history about each candy or each company that makes it, because some of them are actually the same company. Because Washington has a fairly robust candy industry.
Yeah, so not what you said you were going to touch on.
No, I'm a liar. I constantly am lying.
I feel like it's happened twice now, and for a very short run of podcast episodes.
In my defense, if you're researching the stuff that I have to research, sometimes you just need a break. Sometimes you just need something to look forward to. And I think this is an episode that will be good. It'll be good for our spirits, especially coming into the new year.
Mm-hmm.
So
how many candies do you have for us to try today?
We have...
Oh, and if you're listening to the podcast, we are recording a video to go along with this. So if you'd prefer to see us and see the candies that we're trying, you can go over to What the Washington YouTube. I might cross-post this on my other channel, just so people are aware that this podcast exists, because I think, I don't know, maybe one or two people will be interested.
Yeah, some people might be.
Yeah.
We have 7 candies today.
Okay.
And they're all Washington local candies.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are older, some of them are newer. So we'll have a nice little cross-section of the state's history.
Also, can I say rest in peace, Steve Carroll? The news broke today.
Carroll.
What did I say, Steve Carroll?
Steve Carell.
He's not... Okay, rest in peace, Pete Carroll as head coach of the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Because that news broke today.
End of an era.
I know.
It's going to be a real...
I can't let it go unsaid, especially when I'm wearing a Seahawks.
You are wearing the gear. You're wearing the merch, and that can be... It.
Maybe we'll do an episode on Pete Carroll.
We might do an episode on that Super Bowl dynasty.
Yeah, the
Seahawks Super Bowl dynasty. Who knows?
The 14 years of Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll. Repeat.
Mm-hmm.
So, our first candy is Almond Roca. The age-old classic. And it's made by Brown and Haley out of Tacoma. First made in 19. Nope. My bad. It was first made in 1912. And the name came from the chief librarian of Tacoma, who they served the candy to, and she called it Roca because it was hard and it's a toffee, so that makes sense. Mm-hmm. This is still manufactured in Tacoma, along with all of Brown and Haley's candy, which has a factory in Tacoma. Originally, I don't know if you knew this, but Brown and Haley's candy company was originally called the Oriole Candy Company, like a crow, like Baltimore.
Mm-hmm. Is an Oriole like a crow?
Yeah.
It's not the same bird.
It's not the same, but it's like it's a corvid. So, let's give it a try.
Well, okay. So, what is this candy?
This candy is an almond toffee chocolate mix.
Okay.
Some people like it. Some people don't like it.
So it's about what you think, 2 inches long?
I'd say about
maybe
an
3
inch and a half. This is about an inch and a half.
It's a toffee bar with milk chocolate covering it.
Yep.
And crushed up almonds.
Yep. If you have a nut allergy, do not eat these.
I think they can figure that out for themselves. I'll do that close up later.
Okay. That's a very clean chocolate, surprisingly, for milk chocolate. It's not sticky.
almond roca is one of my favorite candies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't usually get it. I will say my one complaint about it is the toffee sticks in your teeth.
Yeah.
But I think that's a little hard to avoid when you're eating toffee.
Right.
And it's actually not as sticky as I remember.
No, it's not. And maybe this is just because it's been cold. It's colder. But for sure, this is more of a not as like gooey or sticky. Like it's not like sticking to your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good. I'm a big toffee fan though, so.
I really like almond rocas. So, if I had to rate preemptively, this will be at the top of the list.
It's going to be in the top 2, top 3.
I think it's going to be the top.
Okay.
But I haven't tried any of the others. This is the only one that I've actually tried.
Right. I've had a couple of these, full disclosure, before. But that was good.
Mm-hmm.
That's a solid, like, if you're just trying to get like it's a little bit longer than one of the short Tootsie Rolls, but it's got more stuff going on than that.
It's longer than Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah. It's longer, but it's very good. It's fresh, and when they're fresh, they're great.
What I like about almond roca is like at the end it has a little bit of a burnt espresso flavor to it.
Yeah.
Usually at the last bite, you really get that espresso flavor to it.
I wonder if it's any amaretto or anything in there.
Well, I would assume.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, it's a really good flavor, and I agree with you. Out of the things I've had out of here already, that is one of the top flavors. So, the next submission, we'll rank as we go, and then we'll probably shift ranks as we taste.
Okay.
The next submission is mountain bars, and we're going to go peanut butter and then cherry.
Which one should we try first?
I think we might want to go with cherry to break up the flavor of nuts. And some quick history on the mountain bar. Originally, it was the Mount Tacoma bar.
Oh, I think they should. Well, I guess if they got outside the
U.S.
You know how
the rest of the
some
country.
companies keep certain names for the specific place they are at? Like Panera Bread, for example, was originally named St. Louis Bread Company.
Oh, yeah.
And in St. Louis, and I think in maybe Missouri in general, it's still St. Louis Bread Company.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is maybe... Well, I mean, yeah, that's the storefront, so maybe it's a little bit easier when instead you're not mass producing. But I just think that they should have kept they could have kept it Mount Tacoma Candy for the local, like in Washington.
I agree. I think that actually it would probably sell more now.
Even in the general Pacific Northwest, like Oregon, Idaho, Montana, I feel like you could sell it as Mount Tacoma.
Yeah, and some background on the candy, the first Tacoma bar, first Mount Tacoma bar, was made in 1915. So this is a fairly old candy now.
Well, how old was Almond Roca?
Almond Roca was made in 1912.
Okay, so Almond
Roca paved the way for the mountain bar.
Just barely older. Right,
just barely older. But they sold more Almond Roca in town. And then sadly, but conveniently, World War I started up. And then once World War I's mobilization started up, people started getting sent to Fort Lewis, which is now Joint Base Lewis McChord. They used to make these bars for the soldiers specifically because they knew a lot of them couldn't get candy anywhere else.
In their MREs?
No, they would sell it to the base because the base had this giant kind of like a recreation hall. Like it was a huge. What's now the Museum of Military History in Fort Lewis was the old hall, which would be like a saloon, movie theaters, candy shops, and they would sell these candies there. Mm-hmm. This particular flavor was made in 1945 or 1946, a cherry.
Okay, so the peanut butter one was the original.
The peanut was the oldest one. Originally, it was just peanut. Okay. It was chocolate and peanut, But then in 1974, they turned it to chocolate and peanut butter, which we'll have after this. But this is the
Cherry one.
cherry flavor, which came out in 1925, I want to say. Yeah, the cherry came out in 1925 or 1945. My bad, in 1945. And then now they have cappuccino and mint. So.
Okay. Mint.
Yes.
Go ahead. Okay, so wait. I want to describe it. So it's like
It's
like a large. I don't know what you would.
Russell Stover's candy.
Yeah.
It's like a half the size, or I would say half the density of a Snickers bar. It's got like one or two less stripes in it, but it looks like a bar of peanuts.
It's like a circular candy, like a mountain, right?
Right.
Per the name. Probably like 2 inches in diameter, you think?
Yeah, for sure.
And it has a top layer of what looks like chocolate and peanuts, and then the bottom layer is like
it's like the cherry flavor.
The cherry custard, perhaps, like, or something like filling.
Mm-hmm. Try it out. Surprisingly softer than I thought it was going to be after cutting it.
Mm-hmm. You must have hit a peanut straight through.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
I don't love it.
This is very much an old-timey tasting candy.
The cherry tastes like Starburst.
It doesn't taste. I was surprised. I thought it was going to end up tasting like medicine cherry, because that's how a lot of candy flavors end up tasting. This tastes very Starbursty, which is odd because it's matched with chocolate and nuts.
Yeah, I think the nuts in the top are a little strange with the cherry. It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not going to be my top, but it's not.
Almond Roca's league's better, but
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the peanut butter one will be better because I think the cherry is too sweet for it.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
And it has like competing flavor with the nut.
Yeah. And I just think also nuts just hold up better with chocolate than fruit in the chocolate, like that kind of fruit nougat. All right, I'm gonna open up the peanut one. Is it gonna be smooth all the way down?
No, it's got nuts.
Oh, it's
Okay.
Here's the peanut butter one.
It's the same setup.
Same setup, same game, except peanut butter at the bottom.
Has less peanuts on top, at least in my cross section.
Yeah, and I think it's also maybe because they have peanut butter in the bottom. They're gonna get peanuts no matter what. So let's try it out.
I mean,
that's okay.
If you like peanut butter candy,
I like it.
It's good. It's not bad. It's better than cherry.
I'm going back for my second bite because I actually like this one.
Peanut butter chocolate or peanut butter candy is not my favorite because it's not, I don't know, it's like a little too sweet.
This is a better Reese's cup for sure, though.
Yeah, it just tastes like a Reese's cup.
It's a better Reese's cup. That's not an insult. I like Reese's cups a lot, so.
It's not my jam as far as like peanut butter candy in general is not my jam, but it is good. I think if you really like peanut butter candy, you would like this one a lot.
You would be very happy to have that. But I think it's good. I mean, for local candy, when I think of a 100-year-old candy bar, I think it's probably not going to taste very good.
No, I think it holds up. Like, I think both of those hold up probably because they're like more classic flavors and not trendy 1910s flavors.
Right. All right. So the next candy we'll be trying is Sugar Cherries.
So this is the one I'm excited for.
Here you go.
Chucker. Chucker cherries, milk and dark chocolate, cherry quartet. So let me read this. I'm gonna steal your thunder because the back of the box says 30 years ago they originated on our Washington cherry orchard.
Yep. They actually have their main store out of Pike's Place,
Okay.
on, downtown Seattle, and I think they started in 1988. So they're a little bit older than I am, but not by much.
1930 would be, or 30 years ago. So unless they have not updated their packaging,
They might have not. Yeah,
it would be the 90s.
Yeah.
Well, this says copyright 2020, so that would be 1990.
Okay. Yeah.
Just I don't know if this is an old package, maybe.
Yeah. I think I just went to their website and then looked at the year they said they were founded.
Where is their orchard? Because it says, Prosser, Washington.
Yeah, they're out of Prosser.
Do you know where that is?
That is Eastern Washington.
Yeah, I assumed.
I'll look it up right now.
Just out of curiosity, if you knew where that was.
No, not off the top of my head. I know where the next or one of the other candies is, but I did not know where this was. So let me check.
So what kind of cherries do we got in here?
I think we have Rainier and Bings.
Because on the back it says dried cherries and sweetened dried tart cherries. So I'm not sure.
Ooh, Prosser is like down the street from Tri-Cities.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where it is.
All right. Well,
I've seen these guys. I've seen the store at Pike's Place, and it's always filled. People love these, and they serve a lot of dried fruit as well.
Okay, so they look like Raisinets.
I love Raisinets, so this is great.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, Muscle Man.
So are these the same type of cherry in each, or do you think they're different?
They're different, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
They really try to let the chocolate do the walking on this. I think there are dark chocolates and milk chocolates in here.
I don't know what. There's a slight difference
Mm-hmm.
in the color, and I don't know which one I tried.
I'm gonna try this, like...
More red one?
Uh-huh.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I think I like it more than the Mount cherry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say that.
But I don't like it more than anything else that we tried.
Yeah, the peanut butter and the almond roca are better.
I like the taste of Rainier cherries, but I don't think the Rainier taste comes through enough. I think it just tastes like normal cherries.
Right. Yeah, this just tastes... Well, you're right. It kind of tastes like a raisinette if you just made it out of cherries. Which is... I mean, if you like that, I could see this being a great trail mix adder.
Mm.
If you wanted to mix this into a bag of trail mix or something.
I think your dad would like these.
I think my dad would like these a lot.
I would rather have Raisinets.
Yeah. Me too. I agree.
Yeah. The cherry taste is just a little strong.
It's very potent.
And I'm not like a huge...
I do love the bird on the box, though. That is a nice box.
I am not a hater of cherry flavor. Like, I like Dr. Pepper a lot, which most people think is too medicinal tasting. So I'm not like all cherries medicinal, but yeah, it's a little strong.
Yeah, it was potent for sure.
We're gonna do the one I'm scared about next. Because I'd rather not end on the worst one.
Okay. All right.
And I have a feeling this might be the worst one.
All right. We gotta get the goat out here. You're right. We shouldn't end on the... We have two... After this one, we'll have two more. So, we're going to the classic. Going back to basics. Applets and cotlets.
Yeah.
They tried to make this the state candy in 2009. And...
2009 is too late for them to try and make apples and cotlets.
I agree.
The state. They should have tried that in like
1912.
1940.
Well, this candy was made in 1918. So it's around the same time as the Rainier bars and stuff. And it was actually the product of 2 Armenian immigrants who moved here. They worked in apple fields at a Kashmir, which is near Lake Chelan.
Mm-hmm.
And they were trying to take the surplus of the apples that they had and try to turn it into a candy product, which they ended up recreating Turkish Delight, which is a favorite in the Ottoman Empire at the time. Some may even know Turkish Delight from Lion Witch in the Wardrobe.
I think it's the only place people know it from. I don't think you might know it. I think you do know it only from there.
The inventors made this in 1918. Their name was Armin Tersagian and Mark Balaban. And they made this candy.
Matt has not hyped this up for me, and the fact that it's basically Turkish Delight does not make me feel good because I don't really love those types of candies. These are big bars.
Yeah, they're not small. Washington produces even to this day, Washington produces the most apples in the country.
Yeah.
And this product is a direct result. It's a apricot and apple candy. Which the apricots is interesting to me because it's like we gotta cut these apples with apricots.
Do we produce a lot of?
We do produce some apricots. We don't produce a lot, and you have to export a lot of them from warmer climates.
If I were to guess, I think that the apricots are because of their natural, like, gaminess, especially when they're dried, so they hold things together, like they combine things better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the look of it. Here you go.
It's covered in powdered sugar.
It's literally covered in powdered sugar.
It's a square covered in powdered sugar. If you've never seen Turkish Delight before and you're listening to the audio version, that's what it is.
This is going to be a wild ride. Mm.
Oh, it's really sticky.
Uh-huh. It's like marmalade. With nuts in it. I don't like this.
I only got one nut, I think.
I don't like that at all. That's too gooey.
The thing is, it doesn't initially taste bad.
No.
And it's one of the best Turkish Delight-esque things I've had.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
It is the most good for American palates probably you're going to get.
I think that
there's so much of this. They give you a lot for one box.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot. Like, this is a lot. Because I can imagine, like, a person eating one piece of this and being done for the day.
Mm-hmm. I think the issue with it, which is not the issue I have with most Turkish Delight. One, it's a texture thing. So if you don't like the texture, it's, like, super gummy. Like you said, it's like marmalade.
Right. The powdered sugar is all over my shirt because it's just loose.
You might not like it.
Yeah.
Which is part of the issue I don't like Turkish Delight. My issue with Turkish Delight is how quickly it loses its flavor and then it just becomes like
sugar.
Eating gum paste, which I don't like the taste of. This loses its flavor too quickly, but not as bad as others.
Yeah. It's still not. It's like one of my least favorite candies. And I remember I lived here when they were trying to turn it into the state candy and was deeply opposed to it. Especially when almond roca is still being produced in the United States. Mm-hmm. No problems and it's owned by an American company. In 2021, Liberty Orchards, which owns the Applets and Cotlets brand, was bought by a Russian company. Mm-hmm. So it's not even American ownership anymore, even though it's produced in Prosser. So I don't know. I don't think that they can become the state candy now.
Wait, this one's also produced in Prosser?
Yeah. Not a Prosser. Cashmere.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yeah,
I was
cashmere.
gonna say.
Freudian slip. That's the value pack.
I actually like the nuts in there. I think the walnuts help it.
It balances out a little bit.
Because it's not. It breaks up how... I think there should be more walnuts.
Yeah.
But actually, surprisingly, this is not my least favorite so far. I think it still beats out the Mount Cherry.
Yeah. I really don't like this. So I'm gonna make this this is still gonna be on the bottom of my list. But it's not as bad as I remembered it as a kid.
I don't think it's awful.
Surprise.
I was expecting it to be really, really bad, and it's like I could could finish it. Would I buy it? Probably not. Maybe once every 6 years if I got like a weird desire for it, but
yeah, it's not my favorite, and that might just be, it could be just because I have had it, and anytime somebody wants to show off, especially when you're in school and you have parents that are just trying to be like, hey, it's the Washington thing, they'll buy you a box of that for Christmas,
which is crazy. I've never heard of this before, so I don't know. Maybe they do a different on Oak Harbor because I've never heard of it.
We're freaks out there.
Mm-hmm.
So the next candies, the other two are going to be chocolates as well. I'm going to start with Fran's. It comes in this little box.
It's tiny.
It's tiny, only a couple pieces.
How much did this cost you?
I can't remember, but it was like $5 or $6 for 2 pieces. Which is kind of crazy.
3 pieces.
3 pieces. There you go. That's not that bad. It's 3 pieces. No, it's 3 pieces.
Okay, where is this one?
This is out of Seattle.
Out of Seattle.
Yeah.
Manufactured in Seattle? Question mark.
Question mark. I don't know. I'm assuming that they make it. The
this looks like
there.
A small chocolatier.
Yeah.
Packaging. Which makes me think that it's like gourmet chocolate and therefore is created in Seattle.
In Seattle, yeah.
Well, it's not like mass produced.
The storefront is in Seattle, and it's been around since the 70s, the late 70s. So,
hold on, I'm gonna break the seal.
She's breaking the seals. We're gonna have to get.
I'm really scared. I'm gonna shake it and then it's gonna fall out. Yeah. Okay. Ah, I had it and then it popped back in. All right, I got it. Oh, this is smoked salt caramels.
Yeah, smoked salt caramels from Fran's.
And milk chocolate.
Yeah.
Did you choose this one for a reason?
I chose it because it was another Seattle chocolate, just like the one that's coming up after it, and I kind of wanted to have multiple Seattle chocolates because, surprisingly, Seattle was not highly represented in the candy production of the state.
Did you choose this specific one for a reason, or is it just what was appealing and or available?
Salted and chocolate. Okay. I like to see what that tastes like because sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
The thing about this one, there's nothing specifically Washington to it beyond the fact it was created here.
Yep.
Which is fine. Yep. But it's not unique.
It's not gimmicky. That's locker. That's salty too. They really put the salt in there.
I accidentally licked I just wanted a little salt.
You got
I got all the salt. Which is fine.
I got all the salt, man.
It's good. I don't really have anything to say about it.
It's not bad.
That's what it says on the tin.
It's what it is.
It's really good, actually.
It's high quality. You can tell that this is a small batch chocolate.
It makes me... The thing is, even though it's good, I want to rank it low because it's nothing inventive about it.
Right. But there's also...
Nothing like signature Washington about it.
Right. And that's what I was going to say is I agree. But the only reason I wouldn't give it a super low ranking is because it's not bad. Because we've had so many that were not great.
Mm-hmm.
This is if you gave your mom this for a birthday or Christmas, she'd love it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's as high a mark as I can give candy because that's what I do for my mom. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's just, it's been around. It's been since since the 70s, and I think that, if the 80s candy made it on, then the 90s one can for sure. We're doing it across time.
70s?
Yeah.
You said if the 80s
I'm talking about the Chuker cherries.
Then the 90s one could.
They said it's on the 80s on their webpage, though.
No, I'm saying that you didn't say 70s. You said if the 80s one could make it on, then the 90s one.
Oh, sorry. If the if the 80s candy could make it on, then for sure the 70s candy could make it on. So, yeah, that's actually going to probably be on, like, there's 7 options, probably 3.
Yeah. I would put it on the top because I, like, actively enjoy eating it.
Right.
So I don't, yeah.
We're making our list.
So far, nothing's beaten Almond Roca.
Yeah, Almond Roca it's solid. It's good. It's the favorite going in, though. For us, it's the favorite.
The number 1 seed, Almond Roca.
We're gonna make a playoffs bracket the next time we do something like this and like go through it. We're just doing simple racetrack ranking. We're just doing straight down the line. We're not going to do any brackets or anything like that. We'll save that for the next time. The last contender is Seattle chocolate. You can find these at grocery stores like Safeway, Hagen. This is 72% dark chocolate with truffle. Yeah, it's from Seattle. I think this is a woman-owned company.
Okay, it is.
Yeah.
It says so right there.
Yeah.
So this is Seattle Chocolate Company, which is a name I think that is pretty well known.
Uh-huh.
At least in the state. I wonder if it's well known elsewhere.
I don't know. Yeah, but I would assume that it probably gets out to Oregon. And
I think this is the one you'll see like in the airport.
Yes, that too. You'll see it in the airport for sure.
Okay.
I know that their candy's pretty good. It's like I said, it's like you could find it at a store. Mm-hmm. It's not something that you have to go to downtown to go get. So,
all right,
let's try it out.
Has an inspirational message.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
This cheerful truffle bar is designed to inspire random acts of chocolate, either to keep for yourself or give to someone who brings light to your day. And then it talks about it also supports Girls Inc.
Girls Inc. Okay.
May chocolate be your umbrella.
Okay.
All right.
Let's try a piece. It's just a chocolate. For those who can't see, it's just a chocolate bar.
It's a dark.
It's very dark.
You can smell how dark it is.
Yeah, as soon as Michaela opened the package, it smelled.
I've had a lot of chocolate today because my my boss bought chocolates on a reoccurring basis for holidays. So I have tried a lot of dark chocolate already today. So I might be a little unbiased or biased towards this.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what it is.
Oh.
That's strong.
Okay. I got one. Oh, yeah, there's like a bad aftertaste. It has a bad aftertaste to it, which I think is like too bitter.
Yeah.
I like dark chocolate. As you get older, you like dark chocolate more, I think. Because milk chocolate starts tasting too sweet.
Yeah.
But
that's too much.
I like dark chocolate when it's paired with something.
Mm-hmm. And just all by itself, it's not.
This dark, it's a little much. Well, I also think it has like a unique aftertaste that I don't like.
Yeah.
Also, I don't taste the truffle at all. Like,
yeah, it's not very pronounced. You have to like literally bite it and then like let it sit to even taste the faint truffle.
All right. It's not horrible. It's not bad, actually.
I think you have to get through that first couple of my taste buds are needing the dark chocolate.
I think it just has a rough aftertaste a little bit.
Right,
Mhm.
right. That's the hardest part too, is that you that first taste of dark chocolate, especially when it's like the high yield kind, it's really rough. But overall, these are great candy bars when you get them at the supermarket. When you get it like a Safeway or something like that. They make a birthday cake one. Have you ever seen one of those?
I might have seen them. I don't think I've had them.
I've never had it.
Are they
I'm afraid
white
of
chocolate?
it. Yeah, it's basically white chocolate
Yeah,
and sprinkles. But not something I'm interested in, but, whatever.
All right, should we rank?
Yes, we should rank them. I've been ranking mine as I've been going through.
You've been writing it down?
On my phone, yeah.
Oh. All right, well, let's start 1 out of 7 on each of these, okay?
Okay.
So, or should we rate them 1 to 10 as well, maybe? Do you want to do that? Or do you want to just allot them a spot?
I'll give him a spot.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give him a spot. I think it'll be easier.
Okay. Let me remind myself what we've had.
So
we've had almond roca, obviously.
Yes.
We've had Franz, which was the smoked salt caramels.
Mm-hmm.
We had the chocolate covered raisins.
Yes.
We had Mount peanut butter, and we've had Mount cherry. Apples and cotlets, and then we've had the dark chocolate. Okay, so I think we should start with number 1, just because I think we all know
It's clear. It's
It's
almond roca.
A runaway hit of almond roca.
The goat.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going anywhere. It's almost it's more than 100 years old. It's not going anywhere anytime soon.
I think it's by far the best one.
It tastes good, and when you get a good fresh almond roca, that's it.
Can you hear Basil yelling?
Yeah, I do hear Basil.
Should I let her in for the end?
Yeah. Interruption. The cat wants to get in.
Basie.
I will say that we had a lot of good contenders here. Great competition. But almond roca just is the freshest. It tastes the best.
It's the one I will eat 3 pieces of in a row.
And it's self-contained.
Mm-hmm.
You just eat it. It's not like, oh, what do I do?
It comes in convenient packaging if you want to just grab like
1
2
or
or
2.
3.
Mm-hmm.
1 or 2, he says. All right, so
what's your number 2?
my number 2, I think, is the Franz smoked salt caramel.
That's a good choice.
I think that's what I'm going with.
Okay, my number 2 was the peanut butter mountain bar. I like peanut butter and chocolate, and Michaela knows that. So it's like it didn't even and I want to be real. It didn't even have to be that good.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Like I said, like I don't really like peanut butter candies, but it was objectively a good one.
Yeah, it's a good flavor. If I will say this, if you have the opportunity to eat one of these versus a Reese's cup, I'd eat one of these before your Reese's cup. Mm-hmm. I might change it up now. Mm-hmm. Now that I know that these exist. My number 3 is Franz.
Okay.
And it's for the same reasons. That's why it's in the top 3. Because it's like a good chocolate. That is a solid chocolate.
I would eat those pretty... I mean, they're a little rich, but they only come in so many anyway. So they're not specified like a lot that you eat. So yeah. I think my number 3 would probably be the Mount peanut butter.
Mount peanut butter. So like we're just switching this places. Yeah. It's
my number 4 is a tough one because, unpopular opinion, I'm a little tempted to give it to the apricot, the apple.
Applets and cotlets?
Applets and cotlets.
Really?
Just because it's like, it is pretty quintessential Washington being apples. Here, let me try another bite. Maybe wait, what one's mine?
That one is the bigger block. The one else, the bigger one. For me, it's just the presentation and the taste is just not my thing. And I will openly... I understand if people like it. I just don't.
No, I think I'll put the Seattle chocolate ahead of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The second bite, the comeback.
Yeah, it's fine, but like as I said, it especially because it sticks to your mouth a lot and keeps in your mouth a lot.
Get you some powdered sugar. It's giving you powdered sugar all over your face. That's also why I wouldn't eat it. Because
Messy.
Too much powdered sugar. Like, when I cut those bars, I don't think those bars, the mountain bars, are supposed to be cut like that. So I don't think that that's why, like, they're flaky all over this plate. You guys can't see it, but it's flaky all over the plate. But I don't think it's supposed to be cut. Applets and cotlets, you're supposed to eat them. And it's powdered sugar everywhere.
Yeah, my issue is that because it sticks to your mouth so much that when the flavor turns to like, okay, this is a little much of this flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you really, really dug the flavor of it, you would be fine with it. But because I'm like neutral, slightly positive on the flavor, it becomes a little much when it sticks to your mouth so much.
I'm going to keep saying this. It's insane that they try to make this a steak candy while almond roca is still manufactured in
I mean,
Tacoma.
almond roca should be this steak
It's
candy.
easy. It's an easy equation. I don't understand how this is like anyone's even talking about.
Because it has apples in it.
Yeah.
Is the reason.
And east side state legislatures are like, this is our stuff. This is what we do. So I get it.
All right, what's your 4?
My 4th is the chucker cherries.
Really?
I like dried fruit a lot, and I like raisinets a lot, and I think that these candies, if given in the right situation, would be great. In this situation, stacked up next to like candy bars, and I don't think they're that great. But the flavor of them, the cherries, the fact that you're getting cherries, period, like real cherries, whole cherries, I think it's good. I think that it's not the best, but if someone put that, like I said, tuck that into my trail mix when I'm out in the field, I would be so happy. If someone just gave me that at the movie theater, I'd also be happy. So I think that I like it a little bit more than I like the Seattle chocolate. But I do like the Seattle chocolate. It's not the worst one.
Okay, what's your next one? Number 5.
Oh. Number 5 would be the Seattle chocolate bar.
Okay.
It's just it's fine. It's not bad. It's a little strong. And if you don't like dark chocolate, that will be, I mean, they make more than just dark chocolate bars. This is just one taste of their whole
right
thing. And I don't think they did this poor enough for me not to try another candy bar that's another flavor.
No, I'm sure they make decent
Right.
chocolate. If I think I'm gonna put the applets and cotlets
At 5?
at 5 above the chocolate cherries because
Did I hype them up too bad to be bad?
maybe, but like I feel like the reason is like I'm currently thinking about taking another bite of the applets and cotlets, but I would not. The thought of taking another one of the cherry ones is more dreadful.
I can't even believe I can't.
And I don't think that the cherry ones are bad. To be clear, I think I just don't like cherries that much.
Yeah, and that's another thing that with candy though, I feel like that is what makes people like very particular about candy. Is like if you don't like a thing in the candy already, it's hard to make people like it. You can like a thing that you may not like if the flavors are what you like, and the consistency isn't. You don't want to eat something you don't like.
Yeah. I think it's probably it's a well-made. It has a little bit too much chocolate, I think, on it. I wish it had a Rainier taste. I don't know if you like tried out Rainier cherries, if they would taste still like Rainier cherries, or if they would taste more like
something else.
Red cherries, whatever those ones are called.
Is that the Bing cherries? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
So my 6 is the Mountain Cherry Bar.
Okay.
Because it is not better than anything else that we ate, but it is still better than Applets and Cotlets.
I think
because it still has consistency. It's got layer and depth to it. And if anything, when it comes to the line candies, I like, if you're going to do that, do it. I don't think the Applets and Cotlets have it. I just don't think they have what it takes to be the top candy.
I'm not saying they're the top candy. I'm saying they're not the worst. I think that the Mount Cherry is by far the worst. I think that the cherry tastes so weird. It tastes like Starburst.
Well,
which is like,
that's your last one.
Yeah,
What's
that's
the one
what
in
I'm
between?
saying.
The
No, that's the last one. That's what we have left. I've ranked everything else.
Applets and Cotlets are my last one, so.
I know. No, you missed one. You missed Almond Roca.
It's up top.
I've said all of them. You missed the
cherries.
The cherries.
Okay, my bad.
I think that the Mountain Cherry tastes odd. I think it tastes like Starburst. The cherry flavor, which I would say doesn't taste like real cherry, and I think that's the issue. It's like a very, very sweet. Like, when I eat the cherry Starburst, I do not think, yeah, it tastes like cherry.
Okay.
But I think that alone is not the issue. I think that the real issue is then pairing it with chocolate and peanuts.
I can see that being a problem.
I don't think it tastes... I think that those two are much on a different scale as a super sweet Starburst candy.
Right.
Like, chocolate peanut is... It's not savory per se, but it's like more on the savory side of these sorts of candies. I wish I had a better word than savory.
Umami.
I guess so. Has more of a salty vibe to it.
Okay.
You know, then this is like so super sweet cherry flavoring and like pretty artificial flavoring.
Yeah, yours is like, it's the fake cherry.
I don't think that they fit together. Whereas the chocolate covered cherries do fit together because it's like a more natural tasting fruit flavor.
Right.
I'm also not a huge fruit with chocolate person. Anyway, like those are not my favorite.
Yeah, I totally
chocolates to eat. So, I think that's why that one's like by far my worst. Like I would not take another bite. I would take a bite of everything else again. I would not take a bite of that one again.
Oh, I respect that, and I will say, if the Chucker whoever, if they had the same cherries in the cherry bar for this, I think it would be a better bar than they put in it. The flavor they put in it. I mean,
yeah, this is clearly artificial cherry.
Yeah, it's not. You could totally tell it was a 20th century candy. In the sense of, like, they needed to like, make a cherry flavor, and they made one, and then put that thing in the bar.
Yeah.
You're almost convincing me to put Applets and Cotlets higher.
I know, I'm right.
But I just don't like the consistency and the flavor.
Yeah,
I just don't like it. I could push through, and this is a taste thing. This is completely subjective.
But do you respect it more?
Yes, I respect.
And I think that's why it should go in your fifth spot.
You're not going to convince me to change it.
You respect the artistry of the candy more than you respect
the actual flavors and so
even the artistry of the mouth bar.
The fact, and I'm going to say this, the fact that when I found out that Applets and Cotlets were from Armenians who had left the Ottoman Empire and then came to Washington and then made a candy that was like their home.
Mm-hmm.
The story I even like.
I know, that's why you should put it as 6 instead of 7.
It's super hard for me, but there's just something about it that just sets me off, and I don't know.
I think it's the powdered sugar.
Is it the powder? Do you think?
Because you have complained a lot about the powdered sugar in this short amount of minutes we've spent together on this couch.
It's hey, you know, it is trying, and I'm gonna say that. And I'm gonna say this too, coming out of it, we actually have some pretty good candies here.
Mm-hmm.
Like solid candies. Now, there's a vanilla flavor of the Mountain Bar, and I wonder what that tastes like. I don't know what the cappuccino flavor tastes like.
Oh, let's see. I think the cappuccino flavor would be good.
It's going to be good.
I think it would be better than cherry.
You might want to get that.
The mint one could be hit and miss, depending on what kind of mint.
I wouldn't get the mint one unless I knew that it was good.
I think of all these candies, I would buy the top 3 again. And I think that's probably true for you as well.
We have a huge box of Almond Roca now.
And we're going to eat it
we're going to actually use these. So these... I was surprised to find that we have so much candy, genuinely. And I am glad to be able to bring that out and show everybody that. And like I said, finally not have a negative episode.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage anyone, like Michaela just said, if you look at our list that we'll put up, look at our top 3 and go try to buy one and taste it and tell us what you think.
I can put things in the show notes.
Yeah.
I think this should have been our holiday episode if we had planned ahead a little bit more. It's a little bit lighter.
I was going to say, this is a holiday episode for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The Almond Roca comes out in Christmas. People go hard.
That's a Christmas thing.
Yeah, if you're not from Washington and you don't know this, Almond Roca gets sold in like tins, like the size of those like drums of popcorn that you get from Walmart, like that are like this big, because it's a super popular candy here for Christmas, and it's good. It's great. It's a great candy.
It is good.
Good. I like toffee. Toffee's great, and I just hope this box lasts for more than 3 months.
It won't. 3 months is. I thought you were gonna say like 3 weeks.
I'm like, oh, maybe I can make it last.
How many are in there?
3 times 22, 66. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
no,
it's not even a single one a day.
It's not even 6. It's not even a 6.
And there's 2 of us,
so. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for watching / listening. If you like this episode, share it with a friend, please.
We would deeply appreciate that.
I think this is a little bit of a shorter one, so...
And short's great.
You know, I gave you a bonus episode last week. You get 20 extra minutes of bonus material that you can listen to on Bikini Baristas if you want.
It's good stuff. And we have so much more coming, so keep an eye out.
Okay. Till next time, we will see you later, and thanks for listening. Bye!
Bye!